Okay, so welcome back to the channel. I've had a few comments asking about my time in Sega, and I do want to have more videos that address when I was working there. One of the best jobs you could ever hope for. I mean, think about it. You're a professional gamer and you get paid to play games, and that is it. There was not really many other responsibilities, and a lot of people get really confused when I tell them that. They think, well, how can that be a job? Well, you had to play through the games, you had to understand the games, you were given new games to have a look at to see what the marketing potential was in Australia and New Zealand at that time for that particular game. So, you know, there was a need for people who knew the games, who understood games, that were kind of like their internal passionate people that were also interested in the products as well. So, you know, a 17 or 18-year-old that was pestering Sega at that time for information on games. Eventually I fell onto their radar, and they did ask me to come in and talk with them. So it wasn't as simple as that. I wasn't just getting on the phone and just bugging them about new releases, but that was certainly one of the things I was doing. But there was plenty of other things I was doing at that time to get their interest, and one of them was writing my own magazine. So back in 1990, in 1989 and about that era, getting information was purely through magazines. There was nothing on TV. There was no TV shows. There still today isn't really that many TV shows that give out information on games. But today we've got the internet, we've got YouTube and channels like this that offer information. But back then it was magazines, and that was really 100%, almost 100% way of getting you information. And there was also, back then, blogging was not a thing. There was no such real avenue for blogging. The way you had to deal with expressing yourself, I guess, was to write what's called a fanzine. So that's a magazine that has been written up by fans, hence the name fanzine. And just before shooting this video, I tried finding my old Sega Times. That was the name of my magazine that I put out. I can't find them, which is a real bummer. It's really doing my head in trying to find where they are in this house. But I have managed to find one demo copy, which was for the Sega Times. So as you can see, it's pretty crude by today's standards. It's a black and white magazine. Whoops. Oh wow. Freebies. So it's just got my hand drawing. I couldn't draw for nuts, but I tried. Hand drawing covers on them. It was done on a black and white dot matrix printer, and there was not really much in the way of you know, drawings or whatever to draw your attention to the content. It was just reviews, so, and also just random pictures of dedicated to Sega products that were coming out at the time. But I was also working in conjunction with a guy that used to distribute games into the country. His name was Scott, and he went under the banner of Terrari Systems. So he used to give me his price catalogs, and you can see here that there's a list of Sega Master System games and also Mega Drive titles. I'm just looking at the prices of some of these now. Holy hell, there's no way. For example, here I can see Wonder Boy went for $22.50. That's a cartridge. Wonder Boy 3, which I would pay this now, $62.50. That was back then. $62.50 now probably equates to around about $100 or thereabouts. I mean, this is back in 1990, so it's a good time stamp of what was happening in the industry back then. We've got all your Mega Drive titles, Japanese Mega Drive titles, which is what was good about this guy. He was able to get in all the overseas titles, which you couldn't get back then. I mean, you had to really hunt hard to try and find someone that's able to distribute these games into Australia. So I would send copies of this to Sega, and for quite a while, like I'm talking about a year, they didn't really do anything with it. They didn't acknowledge, oh, great work or anything like that. But it didn't stop me. I kept sending the magazines in. And about the time when I was leaving high school, someone in Sega, and I only found this out later, they had a new manager who had started, and one of the older managers that were working there for many years, because it was a distributing company before they turned to Sega. He suggested to the new manager, this guy keeps sending in these magazines. You want new staff on your hotline? You need to speak to people like them. So I got the call in to see if I was interested in working on the hotline. And I mean, when you get a call from Sega and you're only 17 or 18, you don't have a job, and you just left high school, you're going to say yes. So I hopped on board, and I worked there for a total close to 3 years it was, and I had a ball of a time working there. I wish it would have lasted longer, but they were going to reduce the hours, and it was going to become a paid service. And you know, that was my main reason why I left, was because I needed a full-time job. I couldn't do a part-time job. Looking back on it now though, I would have tried to stay in that industry a little longer if I could. But yeah, so this is actually the hotline sticker. Oh my god, I can't believe I found one of these. So that's the number there. I don't know what you'd get if you dial that number now with a 9 in front, because the numbers have gone and changed since then. Sega Master. This was inside every copy of Sega Times that you bought. And also the Mega Drive pamphlet, the original one that sold in the console to this country. So you had titles like Afterburner, Dick Tracy. I don't think Moonwalker was on here. I think this is before Moonwalker became a thing. Yeah, so Moonwalker's not on here, but you've got Ghouls and Ghosts, sort of familiar. Phantasy Star 2 was for me one of the titles that got me drawn onto the Mega Drive, the Mega Drive experience. Yeah, they really were getting into marketing the heck out of that when I started at Sega. And yeah, so that's been pretty much the way I got into working for the company. Now I've been getting a couple of messages on the channel, and there was someone wanting to know more about what happened while working in Sega. I'm actually trying to see if I can get something organised with one of the guys, well, a couple of the guys at the hotline that were working there when I was working there. We've kept in touch. Like, that's 20 years ago. We found each other again on Facebook, and we formed a little group on Facebook. I want to interview some of those guys and get them on the channel, so I'll see how that works out, and we can give our little flashbacks of what took place during working at that time. But yeah, so that's my story of working at Sega. Also on the channel, I hope to get a few reviews. I want to get started in doing reviews and get not just the Let's Plays. But yeah, keep subscribing. There's a like button down there, hit it. There's a subscribe button down there too. Make sure you hit that if you haven't already, and please comment. I'd like the feedback. In fact, I encourage it so much. It's kind of why I do this, and hopefully it won't be too long before I get another episode out on the channel. Until then, thanks guys.